What can people expect from the tour that Taking Back Sunday's currently doing? Like, what can the fans expect to see, and set wise and all that kind of stuff?
This tour we're gonna work on bringing some new songs into the set. We're gonna be playing some more from our new record that we haven't done so far, and we always try to mix up the old songs as well, and try to bring some different older songs into the mix as well. So we'll be doing that. We're also working on adding some production to the show that will be a little bit different than what we've done in the past.
Very cool. So I'm calling from Toronto, and
Cool.
I was wondering what is your favorite memory of Toronto, either playing here, or visiting here, or anything like that?
One thing I remember is it was, I think, probably the first time Taking Back Sunday came to Toronto, and I'm pretty sure we played at Cool House. That's Toronto, right? Or
Yeah,
I don't even know
that's
if it's still the name of the venue or not.
yeah, that's Toronto. That venue's actually closing, I think, in a couple months, but yeah,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
Well, we played there the first time we had been to Toronto, and we had no idea what to expect. Like, Tell Your Friends had started to do pretty well for us in the States, and we just didn't know what would happen coming into Canada, and that was one of the craziest shows of the tour. I remember it was sold out in advance, and there was like a line around the block, and our minds were kind of blown with that, being in a different country for the first time and having such a great response.
very cool. Yeah, that place is cool. I grew up at that place. That's where I saw a lot of bands growing up. Uh,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah. We've been there a lot, and since then, but I can't remember the last time we were there. So I thought maybe it might be gone now.
yeah,
I guess it's on its way out, huh?
yeah. There's a few places like that going around. Um, so what do you like most about Canada as opposed to other countries that you visit?
Well, at this point, it feels, like after doing so much touring internationally, when we go to Toronto or a lot of places in Canada, it doesn't feel like remarkably different than being back in the States. But I think that there's something with I think our fan base there, because we don't come to Toronto as much as other places. It does seem like there's always a little bit of extra excitement when we can get there. So that's nice.
Cool. Are there any like Canadian customs that are anything like that you dig? Like, have you ever had a poutine?
I have, yes, I do. I like that a lot. That's delicious. I notice people are generally seem like more polite and nice in my experience in Canada. So that's always pretty cool.
Fair enough. Yeah, apparently we're known to be nice people and very apologetic about everything. So.
Yeah, it's kind of a stereotype. There are worse stereotypes, I guess, to have though.
Oh no, absolutely. I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Are you guys planning on? I know you released your record, "Happiness Is" last year. Are you working on any new material for a forthcoming record at all, or?
No, we're not really in that stage yet. When we're on this tour, we're going to be releasing a deluxe version of "Happiness Is." That'll be on February 24th. So that we're still, kind of in the touring and pushing that album mode. And what we usually do with writing is throughout the touring cycle, while we're home or on the road, we all kind of start working on ideas individually, and then once touring slows down, bringing our ideas together and start working as a group. But yeah, we haven't quite gotten to that point yet.
Yeah, I noticed that you guys, like, the band has taken at least 2 or 3 years between each record. Is that just so you're basically just trying to get whatever you can out of the recording before you go in and make another one, kind of thing?
It's one part of it is that we're not very good at like multitasking. So like when we're in tour mode, it's usually just like that's all we do, you know. And then when we're in writing mode, that's all we do. And I think we did. I don't know. I guess it is probably was 2 or 3 years between the last album. We want to get quicker with that, with the turnaround on that, but usually it's just we want to take the time to do the writing and make sure we're happy with everything, and then same thing with the recording. We just usually don't want to rush through anything, and we just want to make sure we get everything to where we're happy with it, and that usually takes some time, I guess.
Absolutely. What is your favorite part about being in Taking Back Sunday?
I think one of my favorite parts is the kind of family vibe that we have on tour, and it extends like past the band. It also goes like to our crew and everyone on the bus. We've been doing this together for so long, and we've gotten to be like so close that it really does feel like a family, and it's pretty great. I think everyone shares that feeling, and because it has that family vibe, it doesn't mean that like everything is just like great all the time. Just like in any family situation, there's conflicts and like ups and downs, but it really like has that feeling. It feels like like it's deeper than a business relationship, and I really like that. It makes me look forward to touring with those guys and being out there more than I would if it was just pure business.
Absolutely. And like you left the band for a while, like about 6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah.
What coming back to the band, what is the difference, for you as far, compared to when the first run of the band? Like what are the significant differences in this run of the band for you?
I think one of the big things for me is I'm able to appreciate things more than the first time around. With Tell All Your Friends, everything happened so quickly, and it was very disorienting, and it was amazing, and like I knew it was amazing, but I felt like I couldn't catch my breath, and I felt like I just didn't know what was going on half the time, and I just never really was able to sit back and enjoy it and appreciate it, and since I'm back, I feel like I've been able to do that, just to appreciate everything and take it in and enjoy it, and yeah, that's been nice.
Cool. What's your favorite song to play live?
One of my favorites, like overall, is a song called "What's It Feel Like to Be a Ghost," which is actually one I wasn't involved in writing or recording, but it's a really fun song to play. Like it's just a cool guitar part, and I like the song in general. It's just kind of a fun, exciting song for me.
Do you think that make the fact that you weren't part of the recording of it, do you think that gives you, some kind of extra, fandom towards the song? Because I'm sure that when you weren't in the band, you were still, in touch with them and seeing what they were doing. So like versus playing just some cover song, it's kind of like, does it get you excited more? Like you're playing some song that, you listen to and now you get to play it, kind of thing, or, do you look at it from that perspective?
I think that one of the things for me is like sometimes with songs I've been involved in, like the personal connection to it can kind of like overshadow the song itself. Like, you either think about the writing of it or the recording of it, and you think about maybe what went into it personally, and you think about that more than the song itself, and you know, you can't step outside of it and just enjoy it so much, or at least I can't. So I think that's one thing with some of the ones I wasn't involved with, is I can just kind of appreciate them in a different way. I don't have any connection to them just beyond listening to them and you know, learning them and playing them, and there's something nice about that sometimes.
Absolutely. And you guys have like really a lot of deep lyrics, clearly a very personal band. Do you guys find, like, do you generally, you know, obviously a lot of your songs are about, you know, heartbreak and things like that. Like, is it hard to put yourself in the mode where you're playing these songs, you're having fun, but maybe they're bringing up some sort of like negative thoughts about certain things that have happened in your life? Like, how do you deal with that? Like, you know, how does it affect you?
Well, I think that, you know, I think Adam has to deal with that more than I do a lot of the time, you know, because even if I was involved with some of the lyrics to a song, there's, you know, I don't necessarily have to go out and sing all of them every night. So, you know, that's, I think, a little more something that he goes through. But I find with the songs that, you know, that I'm singing more on, or that I had more to do with lyrically, like, if they're older, then it's really not that hard to just step into it and kind of, I usually, with the older song, I just kind of find something emotionally that I can grab onto in the moment, or like from the crowd reaction, and it doesn't feel like those lyrics are that personal to me anymore, because they're, you know, it's like almost like another person wrote them, you know, a song from like 10 or 12 years ago.
Right.
With the newer songs, though, is when it gets a little more on the emotional side. If something's still kind of fresh, then it can be, you know, a little bit harder to relive it every night. But I think that's also a good thing too. You know, you don't want to have everything be like distant emotionally. You want some of those fresh songs to perform, you know, and get that real emotion from.
Absolutely. Do you believe that the internet has helped or hurt music, and why?
Well, that's kind of a complicated question. I think there's a lot of ways to answer that. I mean, I think that the ability for people to download music for free has obviously hurt the music industry, and it's hurt a lot of bands. And so I think, you know, that's definitely the internet that's made that possible. So, you know, that's pretty big. You know, it's something that we used to be able to sell as musicians has become more or less, it's just like a given that, you know, people can have it for free. But then on the other hand, you know, like the ability for especially a younger band to get their music out there, has helped a lot, you know, and even for a band like us to have the constant access to our fans through the internet, I think that helps us a lot, you know, like whether it's personally relating to people online or the band, you know, keeping fans updated and relating as a band, you know, that's, I think, been an amazing thing, and that's helped a lot. So, you know, I think to try to sum it up, I guess it's hurt music in certain ways and helped in others, you know.
No, absolutely. So when you buy music, what format do you buy it in? Like, do you buy CDs or MP3s or vinyl or what?
Generally, I listen. If it's something I'm wanting to check out, I'll check it out on Spotify, and I have the subscription to Spotify, and I'll usually spend some time with albums there. And then if it's something I like, I usually go to vinyl then from there. I don't really really see the point in CDs anymore. Every time I've gotten one for the past 5 years, it just goes in my computer and then onto my iPod or my phone. So it's like, I don't really see the point in buying CDs. So yeah, generally it's kind of like streaming stuff or listening on vinyl for me.
Cool. Yeah, I think. Well, I read an article that said vinyl outsold downloads and CD sales this year. So
really,
yeah,
wow.
it's.
So I guess I'm not alone on that.
No, like I'm a huge vinyl guy too. Have you guys released your stuff on vinyl?
Yeah, we have. Happiness is we released on vinyl. The self-titled album didn't get a vinyl release, unfortunately. We did a live version of Tell All Your Friends. We did an acoustic version and a lot like regular full live version that we also released on vinyl. And then a bunch of the older albums were released on vinyl kind of after the fact of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's huge, though, that vinyl's outsold everything else this year. I think that's, like, the beginning of back to vinyl. Like, it's seriously coming back, I think, so.
Yeah, I hope it stays that way and it's not just like a fad, It'd be nice if it keeps up.
The problem is there's not enough plants that make vinyl,
Yeah, it's actually getting harder and harder to get it done. I've been dealing with that a little bit on my own, doing like solo stuff. If you want to get vinyl pressed, you got to do it like 6 or 7 months in advance, like put an order in, because they're backed up with everybody trying to press vinyl now.
Yeah, and like as of right now, we actually don't even have a vinyl press in Canada, but apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some guy opening one in Calgary, I believe. So yeah.
Probably do very well, I would guess.
Well, yeah, I read an article about it. He said he's having trouble finding all the equipment to actually make the factory. So, because a lot of people, just like with records in the 80s, like people just threw them in the garbage because it's like, oh, tapes are out now. So I think a lot of those places did that with the equipment, like they just threw it out or,
Right. Yeah, it's hard to track it down now.
Yeah. So for people starting out musically, what sort of advice would you give to them as far as good advice for them to hear?
I think the advice I'd give would be to do it for yourself, to make music for yourself and not for anyone else. Try to find something that makes you happy, that you would enjoy making, even if nobody heard it. And you're just in your room or in your friend's basement playing that music with them. Because I think that's the only way you can really sustain yourself. Because there's so many things that are hard about being a professional musician. There's so many ups and downs, and so many people who will tell you all kinds of things, good and bad. And I think if you don't have that solid personal feeling of enjoyment and satisfaction from what you do, like, you won't be able to survive all the ups and downs of everything.
Oh, absolutely. That's great advice. Are there any like indie kind of bands that you're looking at now? I mean, I assume you're in New York, right?
I actually live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Some of the guys are still in New York, though, too.
Well, what's the scene like in Charlotte? Like, do you go out and check out local bands a lot, or, I mean, is there anything happening over there as far as bands?
Sometimes, I think there's a scene that's kind of developing, but I'm not that tied into it. Like I'll see some bands locally every once in a while, but it kind of seems to me, from what I can tell, it's still sort of developing and sort of it seems like there's the scene seems sort of undefined to me right now, but there's definitely something coming together here.
That's good. How do you guys feel about the current state of like music, as far as like, you know, the stuff that's on the radio, or the fact that like dance music is so huge? Like, how does that impact you guys, when, you know, when you think about going out and doing a tour and doing a record, like, you know?
Well, it doesn't really affect what we do. I think we decided a while back that we know what we do, and we can't really like chase trends, and you know, like you're not gonna hear like Taking Back Sunday's version of you know, a dance track anytime, or you know, anything like that. And I think that our feeling at this point is that these trends kind of come and go, and we just got to do what we do, and hopefully, you know, people will come back around, or at least, you know, popular music will come back around to where we're at. You know, because I think we have a strong fan base that I think doesn't really change with the times either, so that's good. But you know, like we can't. It's almost impossible for us to get on the radio at this point too. You know, so I think, yeah, like I said, we just kind of do what we do, and wait out the trends basically.
Well, they never play Iggy Pop on the radio either, so you're in good company there. Do you have any message to your fans that you want them to hear?
We just, you know, always want to let our fans know that we're very thankful to them, very grateful. You know, like I just was saying in the last question, we have a really great fan base that's stuck with us over a long, long time, and that's a pretty amazing thing. We feel very, very lucky for that.
Cool. Have you ever felt starstruck? Has there ever been a situation?
I have. I years ago I met Wayne Coyne from the Flaming Lips, and I was very, very starstruck. I don't know if starstruck is necessarily the word, but I was very, very nervous when I was talking to him. Like I think probably visibly nervous.
Yeah, they're awesome. I saw them for the first time actually over the summer. This summer, and they were killer. Like, wow.
Yeah, they're an amazing live band. Yeah, I've seen them a bunch over the years. They're one of my favorites. It
was funny too, because right after them, The Cure played, and it was like day and night. It was like.
That was actually, we were on that stuff. That was
the Riot Fest.
Riot Fest.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we were on that night.
Right on.
I got to see some of both bands. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. No, it was pretty cool. Very cool. It was just funny because it was like Flaming Lips come on. They're the most colorful, joyous band you've ever seen, and then The Cure comes on, and they're the most depressing. I mean, awesome band. They're a great band, but you know, just it's like
contrast.
Yeah, total contrast. Well, that's basically it for the questions I had. Are you, you know, are you guys looking forward to coming back to Canada or what? Like,
yeah, we're very excited.
Cool. Well, I'm hoping to make it out to the show, and if I can, I'll definitely do a review for that as well. And I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you.
And it was a pleasure and an honor to speak to you. And I hope you have better weather than we have here, because it's -15 and snowing.
Oh, man. Yeah, we actually do. It's pretty nice here.
Yeah.
I don't want to rub it in, but it's like 60 degrees and pretty sunny here.
Oh, you bastard. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, bundle up, because you guys are coming in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have to be ready for that.
Yeah,
freezing weather.
Definitely bundle up. February's the worst.
Oh, man.
But it's been, you know what? It's been up and down. It's been up and down. Like, I'm sure it won't be that bad. Just bring a nice warm jacket with you and a hat and gloves.
Yeah, we'll bundle up.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, thank you for your time, and you know, travel safe. And I hope to, you know, see you guys and meet you at the show.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.